All right. Well, while Jim's away, let's talk about the Cardinals a little bit here. Lane, you're a Cardinals fan. What do you see here? We're bringing Jim back on too. Jim still there?
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. We moved into the Cardinals here for just a second while we lost you. We're getting Lane's opinion here.
Okay.
On the Cardinals this year, I'd like to see it be a close race between them and the Cubs. It always makes it fun. Anytime that those two are together, close, it always makes the division a little bit better. Everybody's watching. I look to, see some of the stars. I want to see, Carpenter come back and, do well this year and hopefully have the bullpen and everything come out, just doing well.
Okay, well, while we still got Jim on the phone here, let's jump back into the Pirates. And Curtis, you were mentioning about the Houston's rotation.
Well, I was just saying that I think 1, 2, 3 with Pittsburgh. I think, Jim, their 1, 2, 3 is better than Houston's. And I know Oswalt's the stud, but that's how bad the 2 and 3 are for Houston. That's just my opinion. And now the one guy that they're working on trying to bring up is that McCutchen kid for Pittsburgh. Is that right?
Andrew McCutchen, is their number 2 overall prospect in the system. He's not going to start the season in the Major League squad because they don't want to start his arbitration clock too early. So they're going to keep him in AAA for a while. You'll see him halfway through the season though.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a real deal. See, they're not. You're right. 2012, it's realistic. I mean, if they can get some of these guys to develop, I think, is it McCluth?
Name McClough in center, yeah.
He needs to prove he can do it again, because if he can, they really have something to build around with him and Dumit. Now, LaRoche, he only plays in the second half, but my God, he tears the cover off the ball every year.
This will be Adam LaRoche's last year in Pittsburgh. He's not getting re-signed. There's no way.
Right. Too expensive. So, cool.
All right, well, let's go back into the Cardinals a little bit, what we were talking about. Curtis, the Cardinals writer, what do you got for us?
Well, they have the MVP, Albert Pujols. Love that. I love that they're bringing Freeze up. The funny thing, I was talking to my dad today about Troy Glaus. We just don't understand these guys that wait to have surgery after at the end of the season. He could have had the surgery in October. He would have been back healthy, by spring training. Same thing with A-Rod. It just goes on and on. I don't understand why these guys wait. But, the good thing is I really think it's good for the development of the team. Freeze comes up. The funny thing is Freeze going to come up even if he has a good year. This might be the only year he has a third because they have this kid down there named Brett Wallace as a third baseman. And they say he could be the next coming of Pujols all over again. They say he's going to come up and hit. I think Gammons and Kirkjian have said he's the best hitter in the minors. Khalil Green's hit over 360 in spring training, which that was a great acquisition from San Diego. My skepticism is Ludwig. I don't think he can do it again. I've never been on his bandwagon. I just think it was one of those things. And then last, sorry, Zach, I'm cutting you off. The thing I see is they're bringing Rasmus to St. Louis. I've seen a lot of projected lineups with him not in the lineup, but I think if Rasmus is coming to St. Louis, he's in the starting lineup. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Jim, what do you think of Ludwig as far as like an outsider's view goes? Because obviously the Cardinals fans love that he just kind of blew up last year.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, he's kind of like the Cardinals version of our Nate McClough, just with more power. It was just all of a sudden, bam, there's Ryan Ludwig. He's crushing the ball. Is he capable of putting another season together? Yeah. I mean, it's just a question of, can he do it again? I don't know if he'll be able to, but he's certainly capable of it.
And I agree with that, but my thing is, and you know what, we have a guy here, a good friend of ours named Rick. He loves the guy. And I'm like, you know what? He's done it 1 year, and he's 29. You just don't do that at 29 and 30. You do well, maybe back when they were taking steroids. Now they don't do that for the most part. You just don't do that. You just don't. Maybe it's that 1 year. We remember Brady Anderson do it, and like I said, that's a steroid era. But you just need to do it again, and I just don't think he's going to stay healthy. He's never been healthy until last year to be able to do that. So it's going to be interesting. I like their pitching staff to an extent. I love Wainwright and Carpenter. I really think Wellemeyer is going to have a horrible year. I think he's going to get lit up. He had a lot of breaks. He got a lot of people to strike out in key situations as well as double plays. He got people to ground in double plays, when it's second and third or first and third, whatever it is. And then Pinero's horrible, my opinion. And then Loesch, I think he's overrated and they paid too much. So
What about Skip Schumacher taking over the two-bag position?
I like it because I think he's a good leadoff guy. He gets on base.
I think it's real. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see how he does.
What do you think, Jim?
I remember Schumacher from back when he was in Single A. I remember seeing him a few times in Potomac, but I haven't followed him through the minors. Saw him a few times last year when he would play the Pirates. He's capable of it. I think so.
He reminds.
That's all I know about him.
He reminds me of Jose Oquendo at the plate. He doesn't hit for any pop, but he gets on base and he just does little things. And you know what? If La Russa has guts to start him at second to start the year, he must be doing a good job because we know La Russa and change. That is just like a 4-letter word to him.
So we mentioned the Cubs as the top of this division. What just separates them? Why are they gonna? How far do you think they'll go?
I think the Cubs have. I don't think they'll ever win a World Series just because I think they're cursed, and I like that about them. But they're probably the second to third best team in the National League. I think they're up there with Philadelphia, and I'm putting LA up there. I think LA's the best team in the National League this year just for the fact that they got Manny signed.
Wow, nice.
But I think Manny Ramirez is that good. But the Cubs are just heads and shoulders above everybody else in this division, and we said it before, the rotation is just so deep. You got three people in that rotation capable of winning 20 games if they all stay healthy. Then you got Lilly, who's you know exactly what he's going to do every single year, and then Marshall coming up. But their offense is it's better than everybody else. They got the best overall team in the entire division.
Yeah, I agree. I think Piniella is very smart. I think it's smart that he made Kevin Gregg the closer over Marmol because Marmol can pitch 2 innings and he can pitch a 7th and 8th, lights out, and he can get you to the 9th. I think that's the key thing there. I completely agree they could have 3 20-game winners with that offense. But I don't think they're the best team. I think they're the second best team in the National League because I have them losing to the Mets. I have a Subway Series. But that's just because not going to the NL East, but I think the acquisition of Putz and K-Rod make that team absolutely unbeatable from the 6th inning on. So, and anyway, what did Jesus say to the Cubs? Don't do anything before I get back. But sorry, that's my bad jokes.